Hey, my name is Jake Brennan. I'm playing Callum in Our Little Secret, and you're watching Young Entertainment. I'm so excited to be FaceTiming you guys today.
Awesome. Thanks so much for picking up.
Yeah.
So here at Young Entertainment, we're really about like masterclass moments and,
Mhm.
having an audience learn from actors in the field because most of our audience is, young people looking to break into entertainment. So that's kind of the lens which we kind of ask your questions from just to
Mhm.
think about. So just first off, what was the audition process like for Our Little Secret? And how did you just go about prepping to play Callum?
Well, the audition process was in COVID, so it was like self
Very
tapes.
different. Yeah,
And I mean, I'd sent the self tape, filmed it with my buddy Beck, and got the callback. Did a Zoom meeting with Steven, our director, and it was fireworks, and was on set 2 months later.
that's awesome.
It was
Quick and
great.
easy, especially during COVID. That was probably
Yeah,
good
there's
to
not
get.
much to it during
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah. And
Yeah.
did you have to do any specific prep for playing Callum specifically? Just anything different that you've done from prior roles that you've had?
Luckily, this was like a first time for me playing kind of like a conniving or like mischievous role. I've
Yeah,
never really it's always been more like preppy or like nerdy roles. So this was like a first for me. And luckily, it was like, you know, the best cast you could ever ask for to like experiment and try to delve into like a new persona. And so, you know, I tried to play it as best as I thought I could as Callum before, and then getting on set, I was just being supported by everybody else. And Ian is one of the best dudes ever, and gave me so much advice. But yeah, no, it was great.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And just kind of thinking back, do you remember your first day on set and just what that experience was like coming into, especially coming into a cast that's so incredibly talented and awesome? Just, what was that like for you?
I was so nervous. I was so nervous.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, I think anybody would be nervous walking into that. Like, you know, it's freaking Lindsay Lohan. Come on.
Mhm.
Um, but it was cold. I was more worried about it being cold than anything because I live
Uh,
in California and it was like
yeah.
15 degrees. So that helped in an aspect. It kind of took some nerves away of like not having to worry too much about like where I was and what I was doing. But oh, my first day was amazing. They kind of everybody took me under their wing. Being the youngest person on set too, like the whole time was a thing in itself. But they were amazing in every aspect of that.
That's awesome. Yeah, to have had that support. And yeah, speaking of those people, we kind of had like a fun little rapid fire question round. So I'm just gonna like n name a few people who, were in the cast and
Yeah,
just if you had any first impressions,
yeah.
one word, what it was like working with them and just your experience.
Cool.
So obviously we'll start with Lindsay Lohan, just
Oh,
incredible person. What was that
oh,
like just to work with
such a
her?
professional, such a professional. I mean, it's like everything. I grew up watching her. Freaky Fridays by
Yep, yep.
Jam. So excited for the new one. But I don't know, just watching her and like the professionalism and like the church scene, for example, the having hundreds of people in a room and having to do major monologues and acting high. Like there's so much going on and moving in that scene that she kept her head on a swivel. She was really dialed in, and she was also being courteous to the extras and talking to people. And I just learned a lot from her. Like
Hmm.
she carries herself very well, very professional.
That's so awesome. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I absolutely also love Freaky Friday, and she's kind of
Right.
ruling
Who
this,
doesn't?
holiday rom-com, sphere right now. So that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And what about Ian Harding?
Oh my goodness, Ian. Him and I are actually from the same home state, Virginia.
Okay, cool.
He is amazing. I couldn't say enough about him. I couldn't say enough about him. He's just one of the most genuine people you ever meet.
Hmm.
Um, one of the most wise people too. I got so much like wisdom about just like career movement and like actual acting advice and like not having to do too much and realism and stuff like that. Man, he's the real deal. He's the real deal.
Very cool. And finally, what about Kristin Chenoweth?
Man, I can't say I yeah. I keep seeing like all these people are the best people, and they really are.
Mhm.
Kristin's amazing. Kristin is again, everything that you could ever expect in 10 times more. She's a light. She's a light in the world. She's like literally like my mom. We filmed in Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta. She, you know, she's the best.
That's so cool. And did any of them give you any, specific career advice that you, really took in and, want to take with you for the rest of your career?
Um, Not specifically that I can like take off the top of my
Yeah,
head,
yeah, no,
but I
so
will always, Kristin Chenoweth and I share faith. And so it was just a constant reminder of, just keeping your faith near you.
mhm,
Hmm.
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of moving on, besides, the cold part and having to film in, 15-degree weather, was there any other challenges on this project and how did you overcome those?
You know, from, working on location, of course, the cold was a really big thing. We would have to wear like 2 layers of Under Armour, and I don't know. I feel like a big thing was not laughing. For me, like I break very easy. That's why I love serious roles, is because there's just like there's no even hint of laughter.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna laugh in a scene where I'm getting murdered. But in a scene that I'm going opposite Lindsay and Ian, it's rough,
Yeah.
and I'll bet you money they have a bunch of outtakes of all of us breaking character.
Uh-huh.
But that was my probably personal biggest struggle.
That's a good challenge to have though, just being surrounded
Yeah,
by funny
I think
people.
it's pretty warranted. I think
Yeah,
it's pretty
yeah.
warranted.
Very fair.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to ask about, Callum especially, he's a mischievous character, and there's one scene where, he gets drunk and kind of acts out. We also
Hmm.
kind of wanted to ask, how as an actor did you prepare for that scene and kind of just act like you've, had a lot to drink and are kind of in that moment?
I don't know. I'm not a big drinker myself.
Yeah.
So I think one of my favorite shows of all time is Peaky Blinders.
Hmm.
And me and my friends a long time ago, we would like when we watched it, we were like really into it. We would like they always like grab each other like rolling around the city. Oh yeah. So I just kind of channeled that.
Uh-huh.
Just kind of slurring your words together. Nothing too much to it. Just having fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Callum also had, some really fun wardrobe choices throughout the film. Did you ever get to
Mhm.
have a say in what he was going to wear and just what was that process like talking with hair and makeup and those types of people?
Listen, that was the wardrobe was genius, and that was completely our wardrobe person, Lauren. She is a master. She's a master. Um, and then my hair was just my hair, and everything else was just kind of how all natural.
Yeah.
But the wardrobe, you're right, was very very great, very specific. But
Did it make
Lauren
you feel
killed
like
it.
you're more like in character? Did it like help you kind of in your process for? Yeah.
Immediately you put it on, and it's like, how do you not turn into that preppy? It was like punk preppy rich kid. You just immediately delve into it, which was kind of crazy. Walking around, you get into costume, and then you walk to crafty, and it's like, man, why am I walking so pompous? And it's like, wait, I'm already in it.
Immediately Callum. That's very
Yeah.
cool. That's funny. Awesome. So a couple more questions for you. Do you have any funny, behind the scenes moments or, special moments on set that you can share with us? Just especially ahead of, the film coming out.
Honestly, the most special day for me was, you don't really get to do it a lot. And in this project specifically, we got it, which was being able to all be together on our last day of filming. And so to be with the full crew and the full cast all together on the stage and have that beautiful moment,
Mhm.
honestly, like, just wrapped it up in a bow. That was like the most beautiful moment for me in the whole set experience.
Very cool. So like everyone came together.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
really special.
it was really great.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of moments in, working on a set where you don't even see some of your co-stars like throughout the process. So just
Oh,
yeah, to have that
oh
would
yeah.
be
There are sets where you're the only one filming, and it's like your
uh-huh.
last day, and it's like, all right,
Bye.
guys,
That's
bye.
funny.
It was nice knowing you.
Oh, so that sounds
But
super special.
it was very special. I'll never
Cool.
forget it.
Yeah, and I know you've had, a long career so far and you've been in many projects. Was there a first for you that you've had like working on this film that you had never done before?
A first for me. I would say, well, first for me would be acting drunk, playing drunk. That was a fun one for me for sure. Another one I would have to say would be doing like indoor. This is like a personal technical thing, but I loved doing like the indoor on like a soundstage, like driving scenes, like car scenes in a soundstage. That was like a whole new world that I hadn't really ever been a part of or gotten to do, and it was so much fun.
That's so cool. Yeah, I was that like, so that was your first time ever kind of
Ever.
pretending to drive in a film or anything?
Yeah, I got to drive with actually with my first time driving was with Tim Meadows in Schooled, and but that was we were actually driving around LA. We were rigged to another car in front. We were actually getting to drive around, but this one was because you know you're having to like act like you're seeing things or whatever. You're moving around, whatever, you know. It's surreal, but it's fun.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
And just one more question before I have a couple rapid fire to wrap it up. So what's one thing that you learned about your acting that you'll take with you into, you know, future roles in the rest of your career?
Trust your first instinct.
A good one.
I think I auditioned for this and booked, you know, obviously booked it, but then I got on set and I just started kind of, you know, you get in your head a little bit. And Steven reminded me that I booked it for a reason, our director. You know, you booked it for a reason, so just go with your gut.
That's
it's usually the right option.
Especially for our audience, a lot of young people, that's a super good one. So thanks for sharing that.
Of course.
And just one more, is there anything, you know, what are you most excited for people to see when Our Little Secret comes out and they can just watch it, you know, during the holidays?
Oh, I'm excited for people to see everybody's like camaraderie. Everybody is so special individually, and to bring them all together in like they all fit their roles so perfectly that it's just the perfect storm of a holiday classic that you wouldn't want to miss.
Sums it up perfectly. I watched it last night, and that, you know, that's
good.
That's good.
It's so good. It's like it's so. I'm not even.
It's perfect for the
I'm
holidays.
not even that crazy big of like a holiday rom-com guy.
Yeah,
but it's so good.
Definitely like lighthearted comedic too, which everyone always needs. So awesome. Cool. So I think we have like 2 minutes left. So I just have a few rapid fire questions to wrap it up. And it's all about first, in your career. So I'm just gonna go through a couple, first thing that comes to mind, and then let's do it. So do you remember your first time on set?
Oh, my first time on set was, I think, when I was like 9 years old in Virginia on a Discovery Plus show called Wicked Attractions, or like Discovery Channel. But you know.
Interesting. It's a good one. Do you remember your first professional audition?
My first professional audition was probably, it was at the time it was called Bits and Pieces, but now it's known as Liv and Maddie.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
That was my first one.
Very cool. And a couple about your favorites. Do you have a favorite celebrity that you know want to work with someday?
Yes, I have so many I couldn't even begin to start, but my number one would probably be Chris Pratt.
It's a good one.
Yeah, solid actor.
Do you have a favorite song that I don't know if you're into music, but do you have a favorite song that you like to listen to kind of pump you up to get ready to go on set or, you know, film a specific scene?
Okay. By the way, I'm such a big music guy, but it's very individual with like the roles. I feel like because
true.
I don't know, like with Callum specifically, I was listening to just like a lot of like punk, a lot of like Blink 182, a lot of Nirvana, like Led Zeppelin, you know, just like kind of, you know, grungy stuff. I have like it's so random. But this is like from my childhood. Is Umbrella from Rihanna?
Such a good one.
That's just an automatic go-to. You know, it puts me in the mood every time.
All iconic choices. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite snack at Crafty?
Ooh, I don't. I'm not a big like snacker. Ian is the big snacker.
Interesting. And then last one, do you have just, you know, the first TV show or film that inspired you to become an actor? You know, what was that?
It would have to be The Village. M. Night Shyamalan.
Good one. Good
Yeah,
one.
Joaquin Phoenix, and it's just unreal. Unreal.
Awesome.
Can't get over it.
Uh,
Yeah.
well, you nailed it. Thank you so much.
I'm Jake. Thanks so much for calling. It was great catching up.
Awesome. Great catching up with you too, Jake.
And don't forget to subscribe to Young Entertainment.